Hey everyone, so I wanted to make a quick video. Obviously, not the happiest of videos, clearly. I was so excited going into game last night, how well we've been doing the past few weeks, especially the last few games. Defensively, offensively, we've been pretty good gelling and working as a good chemistry together. Obviously, this game was a big eye-opener if it wasn't already there for some people. Clearly, I have been watching kind of consistently, I try to watch every game, but it's very difficult. There's a lot of games and, I work, so I will say that the ones I did watch, there's a consistent pattern, and the pattern continues to be rotations and lineups, and how much time does the actually starting five actually play together is very questionable. Yeah, the minutes show that the starting five gets starting minutes, but if you really put it together and you put how much these starting five are playing together, it's not a lot. I mean, it's actually surprising how much we don't get the starting five that, typically have proven themselves to be there, not to get to play together. So obviously losing AD went downhill pretty quickly. We did not bounce back. As soon as I saw into the third quarter that we weren't going to make any stops, that we weren't going to get any rebounds, that we weren't going to give ourselves any second chance points, at this point I knew into the fourth quarter there was very little no hope that we were going to win this game. Obviously Reeves had a bad game, D'Lo had a bad game. It doesn't matter. Players have bad games, but I think the biggest thing that stuck out to me was Rui had a lot of time on the bench when our starting five were playing out there, and it didn't make sense to me because Rui is such a great player, and yes, he's not the great defensively player, but still, he produces a lot offensively, and the ability to do that when everybody else is struggling, and you put him on the bench until later on he last minute started putting him, and guess what? He ended up with 30 points that night. So at that point, it was too late. You already had the damage, especially not having AD come back. I think it's easy for him to say, hey, we lost AD, we lost LeBron. There's not much you really can do against a top one seed team in the Western Conference. I don't want to hear the excuses because honestly, when I saw Prince and Reddish in the same lineup, when Rui could have been starting in that same lineup, I was like, this is insanity at this point. I like Cam Reddish defensively. It's nice to have him out there, but offensively, he doesn't produce anything. When you're down points and you can't make a stop, so it's not like defensively we're going to do anything much better with Reddish out there, and you have Rui on the bench that really it's suffering to watch because there's players out there that could easily be subbed in for these players that have not produced anything offensively to continue to have us lose this game. I do think that there could have been more competitiveness. Obviously losing AD was kind of like not much you really can do. A lot of players weren't able to do rebounds. I liked Hayes a lot. I don't know why we took him out of the lineup. At one point where D'Lo and Hayes were going off, just stuff like that doesn't make any sense. When I think we were down 20 and we were almost closing the gap at 4. And for some reason he takes out Hayes, which I don't understand. You don't have AD, you don't have LeBron, you take out Hayes for majority of the time of the third quarter. And it's just frustrating because like I said, I like Prince, and Prince had a great game the night before that. So I appreciate all his efforts. However, when you have Prince, who, you have Prince and Reddish, and you have, I believe Hayes either was out on the bench, or I don't even think he was in the lineup. I really don't understand the lineups in a sense, but I want to say it was Cam, Prince, D'Lo. I want to say it might have been Reeves, and I want to say who else? Windy, whatever. But I never at any point did we have the starting five close out. I think maybe close out the last few minutes of the fourth, but for the majority of the second half, they did not play together. Even without AD, you still sub Hayes, and it's just, like I said, it doesn't make sense how the lineups and the rotations, I think he's still trying to play that out, and we're literally 3-4 games at the end of the season for you not to figure out that a lot of players that are getting almost equal to starter minutes are not starter players that you really should be giving to your other players. Like I said, I think it's a disguise. Having Rui being on the bench multiple times, like I've said, if you pay attention, the starting five doesn't play a lot. They don't play a lot. And then when they do, it's kind of towards the end. It's like a magician trick. You're gonna make it seem like, oh yeah, look at the box. They got starter minutes, they got it together, yeah. But if you really put the totals together, they're not playing a lot together. The starting five does not play a lot together, and it's the stupid rotations, I think, that kill us and that will kill us in playoff play-in position. Like I said, every game has been important. Losing to the number one in the Western Conference, you know, that was not easy bowl, but I want to say that was feasible to try to win this game, especially at home. It's just tough because, like I said, the next few games are going to be even harder. We have the Warriors, who, like I said, have secured the 10th seed at this point. So that means we're also in play-in position, depending on where we fall. Whether or not we win this game, tomorrow is going to be indicative of whether we continue to start our starters or bench them at this point. Because if we're not going to be playing in for trying to fight for playoff position at this point, you know, what are you doing? You're just going to harm your players. You're going to have more injuries, and you know, it's going to be difficult what we do down the stretch if we lose tomorrow. I did say I was hoping 4 out of 6. So far we won 2 out of 3. Warriors is one that I'm kind of questionable whether or not we can win. I do think we can win against the Pelicans, and I forgot who the last one is, but I do think that those games are easable. I don't think any game is easy. So I want to say higher percentage of us to win those games. Like I said, none of these games have ever been easy for us. Even if it's the worst team in the league, somehow everybody goes off against us. So it'll be interesting. I think we need to win against the Warriors no matter what, if we're still trying to contend for playoff position. And I think we should, because who wants to play so many games? Like, we're going to be exhausted, and AD and LeBron are not stamina for this. Like, they're exhausted. They need help. I like I said, Reeves and D'Lo had a really bad game. And, you know, whatever. It is what it is. Players have bad games. I expect that. But I think the rotations is what kind of ultimately killed us. And whether or not people realize that our coach continues to be our Achilles heel in the sense of success. Because, like I said, you know, multiple opportunities that we could have continued to be in this game, and rotations didn't make any sense. So we'll see how the last few games go. I do believe the Warriors will show us if we need to start questioning whether to have them, you know, sit out for the rest of the season or kind of limit their time. I'm not ready yet to kind of say AD and LeBron need to limit their time or sit them out, because at this point we're 1 game still behind 6th and 5th seed. So this is like really obtainable. Hoping that, you know, we can make playoff position, like I said, because we struggled. We played a lot of time in play-in position. Now, do I think they can do it again? I feel so. Like, I mean, we're a very good team, and we have a lot of talent on the bench. Now, whether we utilize our talent on the bench in adequate rotations and really rotations that benefit all the players, so now that's the question that I don't trust. So I hope we do well. Tell me what you guys think. Warriors, do you think we're gonna be able to win this? Do you think we're gonna secure this? Do you think it's time to sit AD and LeBron and say, hey, it is what it is. We're in play-in position. We're not gonna get any better. And do you just sit them out? Or what do you do? I mean, we're close, so it's hard to say. All right, guys, have a good day. Bye.